of misfits growing up living in New York City who are battling their own person.
One hour later.
Akasha, it's not real. Akasha, it's a tripod. Akasha. It's not gonna hurt you. It's just a tripod.
What up, y'all? It is next day for me. My partner Kiara and I are getting ready to take down all of the shelving. We've already packed the majority of the house except for the living room and the bedroom. So pretty much everything's done with the exception of putting away my books, which is gonna be the toughest job, as well as taking things down off the walls. I'm so excited. We got a U-Haul truck.
Cue jokes about lesbians U-hauling.
Now, please and thank you. But we did get a U-Haul truck. We're just gonna like bang it out.
That's not what I meant to say.
We're just going to move in a couple hours. Let me just stop talking and I'm gonna roll the footage of us packing this freaking apartment and all of these books, which I'm really not excited to be carrying, but you know, we're just gonna call it my workout of the day.
I literally had nothing to do with that.
That's what I'm saying, that was karma.
Oh, I see.
It's not recording.
Yes, it is.
Oh, you hit record again?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Just so I could do a little jiggle. Like this.
I'm worried about you.
Doing crazy dreaming.
but we only have the dog sitter for another hour, so we have 1 hour, under an hour to unpack the entire truck and get back home. So we gotta go. Do you like your new home? Huh, pup? What do you think? What do you think, puppy? Do you like it? What do you think? What up, y'all? I am in my new place. It's not going to be my official filming background, but I'm still setting up my bookshelves. I have been driving around to different thrift stores trying to find bookcases. I found this one at a thrift store. I have another one that I'm getting a rental truck to go pick up later. Filming backdrop still isn't done yet, even though like setting up this room is the literal first thing that I want to do because this is going to be my filming / reading room. Since I haven't done any reading yet due to the move, I figured I would pop on here and give you a review of The Goddess Twins. This is a book that I found on Amazon. I really wanted to just go ahead and find a book that I hadn't heard anything about and just support a self-published Black author. This is about 2 teenagers who find out that they are goddesses. Some of the things that I loved about this little novella is that it reads exactly like a 90s, early 2000s Disney movie. And if you watch the Disney Channel during those periods, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's cheesy but cozy. That's honestly the best way that I can describe this novella. I love that the twins were Jamaican American. I love that there were queer side characters. I loved the incorporation of West African mythologies in this book. I love that Anansi was a character. Anansi, who is one of my favorite mythological characters that came out of West Africa.
What am I saying?
One of my favorite mythological creatures of all time, which is ironic because I am terrified of spiders. And if you've been watching my vlogs for a while, you'll know that I had to go to therapy for arachnophobia because that's how severe my arachnophobia actually is. There's also fantastic representation of how anxiety manifests in Black girls and how anxiety often manifests as what is considered an attitude. It manifests as irritability and anger. And I loved how that this book, even though it was so small, tackled the various ways in which mental illness in Black folks gets overlooked because the way that we exhibit mental illness, the way that we show our signs and symptoms doesn't look the way that white people show their signs and symptoms. I loved all the Black girl angst. I loved seeing traditionally white tropes that were remixed and written through a Black lens. That was so phenomenal. So this book is super tropey, but because we are getting a fresh perspective on these tropes from a Black lens, they don't feel tired out and exhausted, which was pretty freaking cool. There's also a lot of celebration of AAVE, which I really love to see centered in a YA novel. And what I mean by tropey is you have the stereotypical twins that are quite different. You have one twin who is angsty and bickering and really popular and well-liked versus the quiet, introverted, shy sibling who just wants to be left alone. We also have a hyper career-focused mom who doesn't have the time or really the energy to pay attention to her children. The writing isn't incredibly strong, but it is descriptive. It doesn't take itself too seriously, which is to its benefit because the novel isn't, in my opinion, sufficiently transported. You know how sometimes you can read a fantasy book and you just feel like it's real, that you're there, that it's happening to you? This felt like watching a movie. It felt like I was very intentionally sitting down and consuming a piece of fantastic fiction, which is totally fine. However, that does mean that it's a little bit more believable and it's quick and entertaining. It's very fast-paced. But all the tropes made the story feel familiar without necessarily making it feel derivative. The writing in the story does read on the younger side of YA. Flip side to that is that people who are middle grade ages, maybe even elementary school, could potentially read this book and still enjoy it. I recommend this for people who are looking for an easygoing novel. The description and representation of Blackness, Black girlhood, even Black men was really special and important. There's a lot of deep themes in this book Toxic masculinity within Black culture is unpacked at length, as well as hotepery. There's also a really strong theme of girls and women who have been divided by men finding their way back to each other, which I found to be a deeply beautiful concept. And there's also representation for men that are emotional creatures, for men who are allowed to cry and feel their feelings. There were a couple really surprising twists in this book that I didn't see coming. It talks at length about the difference between rehabilitation and punitive action and why we should be focusing more on rehabilitating people instead of just punishing them, which then tied into its theme of the failure of the incarceration system to actually reform the people that are in the system. And you can argue that that's not because the system is failing, the system is doing, exactly what it was designed to do. And the final thing that I will say is that there is platonic male-female love in this book, which meant a lot to me because I'm tired of relationships between men and women only being depicted as important if they are having sex or if they are romantically involved in some way. So it was really cool to just see male-female friendships in this book. Overall, I would give this like a 3.5 star. This is a debut novel and I think it's a really solid debut. And there's going to be more in the series, which I will absolutely be buying. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is my partner and I are going to go pick up our rental truck so that I can pick up my couch. I'm getting a couch and a little cabinet for this little mini bookshelf that's going in this room, as well as we're gonna drive around and see if we can find some more bookshelves for this reading room.
So we came to get the couch and then we're leaving with this bag.
Not just this bag, but
Okay,
yeah.
well there's another bag, but that's not what we're talking about. And then look at this mirror. Look at this. It's vintage and it matches the vibe of the home, so I had to take it.
I'm going to end this vlog here because my partner and I have fallen ill. What you see here is my abuela's caldo de pollo recipe that I made for my partner and I. They're feeling better, but I'm still under the weather, so I'm gonna end this vlog here. And the next vlog that you see from us will be me decorating this new home. The nose. Thank you so much for watching another Bow Ties and Books production. Stay safe, wear a mask, and I will see you in my next video.